So for this move, as it says in the title, we're going to be doing forward inside edges, but continuously down a line. In the same respect as our forward outside edges, you want to make sure that you always get back to your line before you change your feet. I see a lot of people changing their feet too early. You want to make sure that we're doing S patterns, a little bit similar to our slaloms, but each time we change our feet, always get back on your line. So for here, I'm using this blue line down the rink as a really good indicator of where I need to change my feet. So let's begin. I'm going to start off this exercise on my right foot, which means that I'm in my T position with my left foot at the back here, ready to push off. Next thing I'm going to concentrate on is my left arm in front and my right arm to the side. So this one, when I'm pushing forward on my right foot, I'll be having my opposite arm in front, which in this case is my left arm. So as I push onto my forward inside edge, my leg extends at the back. My leg and my arm both slice through close to my body. You can see that my foot is now in front. So it's gone from being behind, it comes through nice and closely and places in front. You can see that my foot is turned out and my toe is pointed. That gives it a nice look. It doesn't really affect the inside edge too much, but it makes you look a lot nicer, especially if you're a figure skater. So now let's go to look at the change. We've already got our first edge completed. So I've pushed off, my arms are now slicing through and my leg is slicing through. Now I'm going to bring my leg back in preparation for my next push. And then I repeat all over again. My leg extends, comes through, slices close to the body, and bring my leg back into my other foot in preparation for the next move. So that's something really important that you want to focus on. When you're doing this move, you want to prepare for the next push almost as early as possible. Once you've completed a nice smooth transition with your arms and your legs, bring the foot back in, rebend, and you're ready to push onto your next edge. For this move, you're going to be on the inside edges the whole time. There is no exceptions in this exercise of when you should be getting on your outside edges. I see some people starting off on their inside edge, coming through too early, not getting back to the blue line and stepping down on their left foot and getting confused before they even realize what they're doing, and they've changed edge and the pattern goes way off. So that's why I always say, try and start off on a line. Use any line you have in your ice rink, whether it be imaginary or real, and make sure you always place your foot back down on that line. That's when you go to change your feet. So in this exercise, you want to think about always keeping your semicircles very even. You want to keep them quite large to begin with, so you give yourself enough time to think about what's coming up next and what you need to be doing with your arms as they slice through and that foot slices through. So make sure you always push away from your start point. I see a lot of people, when they start their first push, they'll set up nicely here as if they're going to push away from their start point, and then they'll push down the line and they'll have no time to think about their next ones, and their inside edges will be very small, like this. You want to make sure that your big semicircles pushes away from your start point, giving yourself time to concentrate on what is coming up next. Draw my foot in and push away. So some common mistakes on this move are very similar to any exercise in which you have an original push. Don't push with that toe pick. If you push with that toe pick, sometimes you might slip off of it. You don't have a very stable push, and it really doesn't look very nice at all. You really look like a beginner starting all over again. So make sure you get that foot turned out and you push with the blade in order to push. Another thing I want you to concentrate on is when you push, look how my leg extends back behind me. Some people, when they get their original push, their leg will come off at the side and it will pull them in, and their weight will drop in. Any weight you have pulling you over into that circle is going to make you off balance. You want to have everything over this right foot once you're standing on it, including your arms. That's why your arms are twisted over that side to begin with, and including your leg, which is extended behind you in order to get over that nice, comfortable, balanced inside edge. Last thing to avoid when you're doing this exercise are what position your arms and your feet are in. You want to make sure that they're in the correct position the whole time, so that you're in the right position to start your next inside edge. So as I said, you start off with your left arm in front and your right arm out to the side if you're starting on the right foot. If I was doing it the opposite way, I would have the opposite arm to the opposite leg. But for this example, I'm going to show you pushing onto my right leg, therefore my left arm has to be in front. And as I mentioned, start off with your left leg behind, and then it comes through nice and close and ends up in front. Try not to leave your leg behind the whole time, otherwise when it comes to changing, you're going to step down and you're going to find yourself off balance. That's why we always say, whenever you go for a new push, always place your foot down underneath you. So I bring my foot back together and place it underneath me to push for my next inside edge.